disabled Tzu Chi volunteer continues to work hard and attend a year-end blessing ceremony in Taichung. Tzu Chi volunteers rush to deliver relief supplies to hardest-hit flood areas of Indonesia. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. Taichung Jing Si Hall held its year-end blessing ceremony with 3,000 volunteers attending. One special volunteer was Xu Mingcheng from Nantou, who only has one hand, though he always participates in these activities, along with regularly participating as a recycling volunteer. Here's more. Tzu Chi volunteers come together and raise their hands to show their compassion. Taichung volunteer Xu Mingcheng a decade ago suffered an injury and his right hand needed to be amputated. Despite his injury, he works even harder and annually joins a Sea of Dharma as well as engages in recycling work.
To open PET bottle caps, I will hold the bottle with both feet and use one hand to open it. I do whatever I can to help, and I squat and work quickly. I do it as good as everyone with two hands.
This lotus shape made with bamboo coin banks is a specialty of Nantou. It's already in its 7th generation.
There's a pagoda on this mountain, and there's special scenery like water, and it's like a lotus flower blooming.
We try to represent Master's teachings, so everyone works very diligently.
竹子是南投的特色，我们以点点荧光，
小萤火虫汇合起来呢，是在黑暗中呢的一群的亮，真是方向正确，大放光明。
The bamboo coin banks at the year-end blessing ceremony are inspiring everyone to do good deeds every day. Chu Youfu is a Tzu Chi volunteer from Keelung. In the past, he had many bad habits such as smoking, chewing betel nuts, and gambling. His antics often worried his mother. When his mother joined Tzu Chi, he also began learning about Tzu Chi and turned his life around. Last year, his mother passed away, but he continues to do these good deeds while devoting the merits to his mother and continuing to safeguard the forgotten corners of Keelung. Take a look.
建文，
我们来了，
谢谢。
然后师姑，
师姑，
哎，这个衣服啊，妹妹看可不可以穿？
伊讲要找什么找？
生活呀，扫涂骹呀，是啥拢会使啊。
妈妈没工作，那心里的压力各方面。
For example, when the mother doesn't have a job, she worries about the family budget.
儿女们他们会看到说，妈妈没工作。
Her children will see that their mom doesn't have a job and live life with a bit of reservation, and they might encounter problems on their path of education.
你领的是学习领奖，那姐姐领的是什么？全勤奖哦，哈哈。
我不知道妈妈是领什么。
妈妈领，
所以
妈妈
不用按
领最
真心版
棒奖
本吗？。好，比如说刚刚师傅问你，你领到这个奖学金，你要做什么用？
我要拿给妈妈帮我买吃的。
When the kid says they want to save it, let's save it. If they say they want to use it to buy something, we should carry out their wishes, as it's a good way to encourage them because they have worked hard to achieve this scholarship. When they get an actual reward, they will want to continue to work hard in the future to receive more scholarships.
She says she has been saving her money. She's saved up 130 NT dollars now. If her mom doesn't have any money, she will give her savings to her.
妈妈，像那种奖学金对你来讲有帮助吗？
Every little bit helps. 3,000 to 5,000. That amount can be used to purchase supplementary books for school or for the kids to eat meals and whatnot.
I was certified in 2008, but I was already involved in Tzu Chi before certification. My mother is a very kind person, but she passed away last year. I joined Tzu Chi as I was influenced by my mother's actions. I lost my father when I was 12, and she had to raise 9 children on her own. We had a hard life for a while, but she always made sure to instill in me that when we have the ability to help others, we should. These are new, including the shoes. These have been donated. Some are name brand ones. They've been donated for a charity sale. This is my mother. She was a Tzu Chi volunteer, and I often went with her to do home visitations and recycling. When people have things to donate, she will sell it and donate the money for charity. I don't need money to help another because we might not have that much money to begin with, but we can use our physical strength to help. The acts I do are all in memory of my mother. I don't have many years left in life, and I need to hurry to accomplish it all.
In Chiayi City, Huang Shoumei was a full-time housewife after getting married. Unexpectedly, her husband passed away of cancer. This led her to fall into despair, and she cried all day long. Her life was bitter, and she was often full of complaints. Her daughter later encouraged her to join Tzu Chi and do recycling. Slowly, she learned to be independent. Here's more about how she turned her life around.
In 2009, Huang Shoumei's husband passed away of cancer, and the youngest child was 11 years old. As a full-time housewife, she suddenly lost her support.
My mother was sad, but she must be strong because she is a mother of 4 children.
It was her daughter who encouraged her to participate in recycling and study group. 3 years later, Huang Shoumei came out the sadness of losing her love.
Just like my mother said, the person who helped her support the sky and the earth fell down. I always felt that I wanted to be that person, the person who helped her sustain the sky and the earth. She is kind and will help with any needs. Sometimes she just did it quietly. Over time, she will take the initiative to assist us.
Because of doing Tzu Chi has shown her a miserable life at the bottom of society, now she cherishes what she has and turns complaints into gratitude.
Many have a stereotype about vegetarian food that is just leafy greens, which doesn't give you a balanced diet. After Tzu Chi's 21 Days Vegan Challenge, many of the participants have a new outlook on what a balanced diet is and what a vegan lifestyle looks like. Let's take a look at this healthy food. Take a look.
To prepare for the 21-day vegan challenge, the chefs of the participating restaurants must dig into their creativity to come up with delicious meals.
The meals this time are prepared with no processed food or pre-seasoned ingredients. We taste test before serving the dishes to make sure if they fit into the criteria which the nutritionist set for us. It's actually very much a challenge on our part as well.
To fit the criteria of the challenge, the meals must not contain dairy, eggs, or any animal-derived products. A dietitian is on site to check each meal.
Normally for vegetarian meals, I will eat more eggs to gain the protein count. But through this campaign, I might change slowly to gaining proteins through the use of soy food.
Many in New Taipei City's Shanchong and Luzhou district signed up for this challenge. Among them is Li Ying, who suffers from high cholesterol. But after 3 weeks of vegan meals, she is smiling more than ever.
Last measure was 112 centimeters, and this time it's 109. So not only did I gain a healthier lifestyle, but also I lost weight.
Already a vegan, Wu Huazhu invited her husband to give this challenge a try, hoping her husband can change his eating habits.
These healthy meals really help a lot. Each day, the meals are planned by the dietitian so that you don't overeat. It's planned well to help adjust our health. If we aren't picky about food and have a balanced diet, then it's very good for our health.
Eating pure food without extra additives is less of a burden on the body and also helps to contribute to decreasing carbon emission.
60-year-old Mr. Lin suffers from Parkinson's disease, lives alone in Xizhi. Starting in July, Tzu Chi volunteers went to take care of him regularly. Last month, he accidentally fell down at home. Was discovered by Tzu Chi volunteers. After he was discharged from the hospital, the Tzu Chi assistive device team sent him an electric bed so that he could take care of himself at home. Here's more.
Although there are just 2 steps up, for Mr. Lin, who suffers from Parkinson's disease, it already takes him much effort. Knowing that he is unable to clean up his living environment, the volunteers went to his home regularly to help clean.
Now he has difficulties and problems. I just take care of him just like my own family.
We want to make his living space more comfortable, but we also have to respect his decision. We told him that buying so many things is not environmentally friendly. If he wants to buy something in the future, it's better to donate the money and make good use of it to help other people.
Because of his purchasing habit and not tidying up, Mr. Lin has fallen at home many times and once almost passed away. In order to let him live more safely at home after being discharged, the Tzu Chi assistive device team specially sent him an electric medical bed.
He walks very unsteadily, so I told him about my previous rehabilitation experience after suffering from a stroke. We sent him an electric medical bed so that he can get out of bed easily. Instead of sleeping on the sofa like before, he can do rehabilitation with a walker by the bed.
This bed helps me a lot. It allows me to get in and out of bed easily. I can also adjust the angle and height of the bed according to my preference. The most important point is that it's very comfortable.
After being familiar with the operation of the electric bed, the volunteers also helped him take a bath, hoping that his life would be better in the future.
The master taught us that helping elders take a bath is like bathing Buddha. I'm bearing that mentality to help him take a bath.
I just treat him as my dad and help him wipe his body down so that he can be more comfortable.
Before leaving Mr. Lin's home, the volunteers helped him apply medicine on his wounds and gave him loving reminders, hoping that this kind of family care would warm his lonely heart.
Recently, West Kalimantan province, Indonesia, was hit by heavy rains. Several areas were flooded to nearly 1 story. Tzu Chi volunteers near the disaster area launched disaster relief with the first batch of donated materials, including 100 metric tons of rice, 500 boxes of instant noodles, and 500 kilograms of eggs. Take a look.
The yellowish muddy water flooded almost all the 1-story buildings in Sintang Regency, West Kalimantan Province, Indonesia. This is caused by the recent heavy torrential rain, making residents' lives miserable.
The water in some areas has receded, but in some other areas the water levels are still quite high, such as Sintang, Malawi, and Sekadau regencies. These places have been flooded for many days.
The volunteers from Sikawan, which is the nearest place to the disaster area, immediately launched an emergency relief after learning about the news. They brought rice, instant noodles, and eggs, and asked the military to help with distribution.
After the water level receded, we immediately went to purchase supplies. As we knew that the affected residents did not have meals for many days, we quickly handed over the supplies to the military for distribution. They can contact us if they have other needs in the future. We'll try our best to assist.
The The supplies donated by Tzu Chi will be distributed by our military force to the affected residents soon to help them get through difficulties.
Although the donation ceremony was simple, the supplies were filled with volunteers' love to help the affected residents resume their normal lives as soon as possible.
In Malaysia, in addition to the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of dengue fever cases is also high. The Ministry of Health of Malaysia reminds the public that prevention is more important than treatment. Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter cooperated with a number of units to launch an anti-mosquito operation. Here's more.
Volunteers were divided into different teams to search for Egypt-type mosquitoes. Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter cooperated with a number of units to carry out an anti-mosquito operation in a garden of Tamadisa.
There have been more than 40 cases of dengue fever with Japanese encephalitis, so we hope to cooperate with the Solid Waste Corporation to find and destroy larvae together.
In this cooperation, we provide manpower. If there is another operation later, we will provide the required equipment as well.
About 100 people joined the event. In addition to eliminating mosquitoes, they also picked up rubbish and cleaned the environment.
A lot of garbage is buried in the soil. We need to pick them out one by one.
Dengue around Tamanesa is actually quite bad. Sometimes we also go around and take up all the water container and contain all the old tire, and some of the food store over here also have to clean it up.
Dengue fever is dangerous and there is no medical treatment so far. Only by ensuring environmental hygiene can we prevent mosquitoes from breeding.
Its eggs can survive for at least 6 months in dry conditions. As long as there is a clean water in one place, they can even breed inside a small bottle cap.
In addition, the volunteers also set up exhibitions in the community to raise public awareness of environmental protection, reducing plastics to protect the earth.
We have set up a small outdoor exhibition today just to tell the public not to use one-time plastics.
One family of 2 per month, this is the amount of plastic we use.
Apart from preventing mosquito from breeding, everyone is also committed to protecting the environment's hygiene, hoping to create a healthy and safe living space together.
As the weather gets colder, members of the DaAi Elementary School baseball team have to endure cold beds and dormitories. Tzu Chi volunteers brought warm clothes and new mattresses to help members of this baseball team who live away from home. Let's take a look.
These children applaud Tzu Chi volunteers who care for them like mothers.
Everyone needs to take care of each other and caring for each other.
As the weather turns colder, these volunteers bring jackets for the baseball team players to choose from. These handsome jackets and don't give up t-shirts make the children happy, allow them to endure the cold of sleeping in these cold dormitories. Volunteers even brought them a truck full of new mattresses.
Thank you, Tzu Chi aunties and uncles, for giving me this mattress. I'm very happy.
Thank you, Tzu Chi aunties and uncles, for sending us these comfortable mattresses.
This group of Lin Luo Junior High School and DaAi Elementary baseball team members left home at a young age to live in a dormitory and undertake training. Tzu Chi volunteers have been with them for a long time and helped cultivate them with their coach.
For the past decade, we thank Tzu Chi for carrying this group of children. I will also do my best to help them and represent Tzu Chi in caring for them.
With new mattresses and jackets, these young baseball players now live up to the challenges of becoming a competitive baseball team.
Recycling volunteers not only help the earth, but at the same time help their own health. Jing Si Hall Dharma masters deeply care about recycling volunteers, giving them instant noodles and even new gloves. Here's more.
There are many different types of plastic bags, and volunteers need to carefully sort them all. It's all part of their daily mission as they happily enjoy the task. One volunteer is a retired civil servant who joined these ranks one day after retiring.
Before, I was a supervisor at a government agency and my health was not as good. I only used my mind. So after retirement, I want to hurry up and cultivate my inner joy.
As they work to protect the earth, volunteers deliver instant noodles to them to show respect for their work. Oh, it's not a special ceremony. Today was just a show of respect for these volunteers.
Jing Si Abodama masters want to send their blessings to you. This is their love, and they cherish our recycling volunteers. I am just a messenger.
Even though the gloves are worn with holes, the recycling volunteers continue to wear them. Thus, they are careful when handling broken glass. For this reason, volunteers sent them new thick gloves. Another layer of protection is given to their hands, which have been safeguarding the earth for a long time.
Tzu Chi USA headquarters has quickly mobilized a fundraising drive to provide disaster aid in the USA, also purchase COVID vaccines for Taiwan. Children from the Monrovia and Walnut DaAi Kindergarten in California have even responded by donating for these very important causes. Take a look.
This is a simulated wind disaster. Children are screaming as they have a desire to prevent this and the pandemic.
I want to give them a big and beautiful house because they don't have a home and they can't sleep or eat.
I want to give them a hug or give them some new toys.
Tzu Chi USA Education Foundation leads 2 DaAi kindergartens to experience disaster, at the same time inspiring their compassion.
Good job. Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
Pasting these hearts helps inspire compassion as the children also donate into their own bamboo coin bank. After school, they also invite their parents to contribute.
When the kids are in school, they are accustomed to donating to bamboo coin banks. So when I saw it, I think they are learning a little more about compassion, and this is teaching them how to share.
I want to allow my children from a young age to have a correct idea about how to help people. I want them to know how to help and care about other people.
This filled oversized milk bottle is the result of the children's hard work. Aside from providing emergency disaster aid in the USA, they also hope to contribute to a vaccine fund in Taiwan.
Mr. Lan in Pingdong lives in a home without a working toilet and a leaking roof. He also has an adolescent daughter who didn't want to sleep in the same room with her parents. Local government authorities helped him partition his home, also donated furniture to make their lives more comfortable. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.